Yes, guys, welcome to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for our review for the Austrian Grand Prix, which has just finished. And we're seeing the drivers obviously doing the podium celebrations. Tycho is with us. He's watched the whole Grand Prix with a watch along with us. How you doing, my friend?
I'm not sure what to feel about the race. I'm happy that Leclerc won, of course, but then again, on the other side of the spectrum, you have Sainz going out, so it's a bit of a 50-50 race, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming with that, but probably the main title rival for Verstappen, Leclerc a win, getting a win after his numerous attempts since Australia. It must be a bonus. Must
Yeah,
be.
it's been so
Uh,
long for him to win a race. It's nice that he can finally win one again.
yeah, I mean, throughout the Grand Prix, I wasn't too worried about his performance. To be fair, because he showed from lap one he had the better pace than Verstappen throughout the Grand Prix.
Hmm.
And no matter what Red Bull try to throw at him, they seem to have an answer. Um, it's obviously just at the end with those reliability issues that is probably what made it a lot of frightening for a lot of Ferrari fans,
Yeah,
given to what's
I mean,
happened before. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't. I was scared myself. You you reminded me of that plenty of times that I didn't need to be, but Verstappen got close enough in the end, which did make me a bit scared. But in the end, he couldn't get there, so I'm happy with that.
Mm. But definitely, big up Mundy, great win by Charles, big up MUFC Adam, hello, big up. So yeah, obviously this weekend's been the sprint race weekend. Meaning we've had a sprint race and then a Grand Prix. We're qualifying on a Friday. What do you make about the whole sprint race idea? Is this something you approve of, or is it something you're more traditionalist of having the traditional format?
I'll say it like this: I prefer the traditional system, but I don't mind the sprint races either. I don't mind them at all.
Okay, because for me, like, I'm more of a traditionalist for myself. Like, I I'm not too keen on the idea. I sometimes you've watched the sprint races, they've been more like all they've done is cause DRS chains at
Yeah.
times. So yeah, for me, it's I don't see it, but there you go. Adam there saying I don't mind a sprint race, but prefer traditional. Yeah, I think some people are more historic F1 fans probably prefer traditional than the new idea of a sprint race. But we'll see if they want to implement it further on. So as the moment they keep trying it with only three Grand Prix, but maybe that be the answer. Only some of the Grand Prix will be sprint races, some of them will be just a normal race
Yeah,
and more qualifying. So
like a 75-25% change maybe.
yeah, maybe. But look, I mean, obviously we had qualifying and Ferrari's Ferrari, Red Bull, and even Mercedes looked at one point that they could challenge each other. In the end, I think even if Mercedes did who have two major mistakes in qualifying, Hamilton put it in the wall and Hamilton and Russell putting it in the wall at the end of turn 10. Even if they did manage to get higher up the grid and start challenging Ferrari and Red Bull in a qualifying position, I still think they probably would have struggled because I think their pace overall in the race was just not as quick as Ferraris or Red Bulls this weekend. Um, uh, would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah, I would.
Yeah. But again, like I think the good thing for Verstappen is that only 6 points have been dropped. He managed to get fastest lap towards the end. So only 6 points have been dropped by him between him and Leclerc. Obviously, the gap between him and Perez has grown a lot further than that. It's probably is him and Leclerc that are now the two up top. But the other title rival in this, Sainz, that could be his title chances gone by that retirement.
Yeah, I definitely think so because he's already at 40 and that's his entire season, so it's not great, obviously. Um, yeah, I didn't really think he was in a contention from the beginning, but it still hurts me as a big Sainz fan because I really like the guy, and in the end, what can you do, really? I mean, he wasn't really the main runner all season, to be honest, but I would have preferred him to be in a race, but
It may be
what
a
can you
blessing
do?
in disguise, to be fair. So, if I'm thinking about it, it might be a blessing in disguise the fact that he's had that retirement, because then what it does is it it lays it bare that the fact that you have to put how do I put this? You'd have to put Leclerc up as number one driver because he's the one that's got the realistic chance of winning the of the championship, which means that so that in future races, if we get to a 1-2 situation and between the Ferraris like we had in Britain in the British Grand Prix, if Sainz is leading, he'd have to move out the way for Leclerc because of the points, because of the title fight. So it might be a blessing in disguise in that area where it makes the judgment of that very much clear for Ferrari that they need to side with one driver over another. Because
Not
Red
good
Bull,
at all, to be honest.
well, yeah, I mean, because Red Bull can say as much as they want. They're like Perez does not get a look in. He's not getting a look in. He's not going to get a chance to fight with Verstappen for a title. I'm sorry. Like they can mouth it as much as they want, right? They can word it as much as they want, Red Bull, right? But in the end, Max's title fight doesn't come into question, right? Perez would have to be so many points in front of Max for that to happen. Simple as that. But there you go. But one driver I will point out, and from this weekend, and has been probably the surprise of the weekend, I'd actually say, and actually probably I'd have to give him driver of the weekend, to be honest. Mick Schumacher.
Yeah, that's
Mick
a good
Schumacher.
shout.
Mick Schumacher for me would be my driver of the weekend, to be honest. He did well
That's,
and got into Q3, held up
yeah,
Lewis for most of the sprint with some great defending. For me, uh, and then uh, and then in the race, started ninth, got to his highest ever, finished in his highest ever position, which is sixth position.
yeah,
Adam, yeah, Adam, it's MSC. It's MSC. Mick Schumacher. The same initials that his father had. MSC. He's MSC 47. That is. He's coming into his own. Yeah, he's developing his driver. I mean, he obviously had to adapt to having a better teammate. So it doesn't help when you've got a shit teammate. When his teammate's as bad as Mazepin's. But now he's had to adjust to that. He's now raised his game and really taken the fight to him. Right, here we go. Christian Horner's going to say that Russell had no right to be down the inside. It's typical Mercedes, blah, 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 blah. Right. And all I'm going to say to that is that when you drive when your drivers cut each other off, that is when you cut other drivers off. That's what you're going to get. Simple as that. I'll back any driver that will just stand his ground. And if these Red Bull drivers are going to cut across them, right, thinking they've just got the absolute right to take the corner, despite a car being on the inside, then like they deserve to get hit and taken out the race. Because I'm sorry, you need to give a car width of space, and Perez did not give him a car width of space. Right, I'll defend that. Right, I'll defend that till the cows come home. Russell was given no space to turn. Right, he'd turn as much as he could. He couldn't turn any further. Right, for the braking in the angle of that corner. Right, and Perez shut the door on him. And because he gets taken out the race, it's Russell's fault. Bullshit. I'm telling you now. If that was a Red Bull driver, I'm telling you now, they would not get punished. I'm telling it now. I'm honestly, I'm speaking these facts. If it's Red Bull committing the offence, they get away with it. If it's someone else committing the offence, they get punished. Simple as that. Right? So, yeah. How did you see the incident with Russell?
I mean, I really thought it more as a racing incident, but I can see both. To be honest, I can see both sides of the spectrum. Really, I can see Russell being a bit in the wrong, but also Perez. I think, I think it's just a racing incident. Really, I mean, I think Russell could have turned in a bit more, not of course a full car width more, but or something. But then again, Perez could have could have given Russell a bit more space. So in the end, I'll just say it's a racing incident. So yeah.
Okay. What about the incident with Gasly?
I think that's a far more um, obvious incident because I think Gasly just had a lot of space in comparison to Vettel there, and
Yeah.
I think I think that was way more obvious than the Perez Russell incident.
Yeah, all right. I can see that one. For me, yeah, that was definitely a penalty. Like Gasly used all the room in the world. Vettel had
Yeah,
already was already on the curve on the outside. Couldn't be any more to the outside if he tried. And Gasly decided I'm having all the corner. Well, I'm sorry. If someone's on the outside, no, you can't. You're entitled to go to car width of space. So for me, that is a clear penalty. Right? If Russell had did that, I'd be totally in agreement. But Russell was completely on the inside the whole time. I don't even think he crossed the halfway point of
oh
like the middle part of the track. I don't even think he crossed that part. Yet you're giving the guy a penalty. I'm sorry, the stewards need to actually wake up and actually realise that's racecraft. That's a bit of racecraft and tactics by fucking Red Bull. If I can see it, why can't anyone else see it? Why can't they see it? They're supposed to be the experts. Doesn't make
yeah.
sense. But yeah,
Let me
like,
let me ask you this.
mm.
Do you think Sainz could have battled Leclerc more than Verstappen did if he didn't DNF?
No, I don't think Russell would have been able to compete with the Red Bulls
No, no,
today.
no, not Russell. Sainz.
Oh,
The final
Sainz.
laps. If he didn't DNF, could he have challenged Leclerc more than Verstappen did?
No,
No.
nah. I think he'd be told to. I think A, he would have probably been told to hold up and keep Verstappen behind.
Yeah.
B, if everyone didn't have a problem with the car anyway, Leclerc was 5 seconds clear and keeping that distance quite happily. And let's be fair, until the very last lap, where Leclerc literally just ran the gap down. Right, Verstappen was only gaining about 2 or 3 tenths a second. Right, some of them only 1 or 2 tenths. Yeah. So it wasn't like he was catching him like at such a rate that he's only just pitted and come out on soft tires, if you know what I mean. Like, so yeah, for me, like, I think Leclerc would have quite easily just handled the gap a bit better if Sainz was there, and plus I do think the team would have just said, look, just keep it as a 1-2 here, please. Get the cars to the finish. Especially after what happened in the British Grand Prix as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
they
I can
nearly
see.
caught that up because of their not their miscommunication.
Yeah.
So there.
No, you're right.
Anyway, but it would have been interesting thought. But anyway, we're gonna we'll do the play rate. We'll do the play ratings, drivers and teams ratings for this weekend. Let's have a look. Right. Obviously 0 to 10. Right. Obviously 10 being the best, 0 being trash. Performance over the weekend. So we're gonna start with the Haas drivers. Magnussen. What do you make of his performance this weekend? Got into Q10.
Yeah.
Was that Sean Ware's teammate, I'd say. So good.
Yeah. We initially qualified in sixth. In sprint he
Yeah,
did well, and in the race he finished seventh, I think it was. No,
I
eighth.
think 8th.
So
Very good.
yeah, good. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Very good. 8. Yeah. Mick. Mick, for me, is driver of the weekend.
Sure, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Like, gets in the top 10, holds off Hamilton for God knows how many laps in the sprint, gets himself to his highest ever position in finishing position in Formula One. Right, straight off the back of winning his first points for the team. So yeah, brilliant. I can't fault him on this weekend.
I
Uh,
mean,
let's go to Alfa Romeo and Zhou. What do you think of Zhou's performance?
I think he was a bit unlucky in qualifying initially and in the sprint as well, but I
Mm,
don't think he was outstanding in the race. So maybe a 4, a 3 maybe.
yeah, yeah 3. I'll go.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Bottas, didn't hear much of him all race, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll say a 3 as well maybe, because he did
Yes,
have troubles in the sprint. So yeah.
yeah, and obviously the engine penalty put him at the back of the grid, so didn't really help his cause in that instance. Aston Martin, Lance Stroll.
Where did Stroll finish initially?
Stroll was fighting up there amongst the midfield. I would say finished
13th. 13th.
13th. Little,
Um,
the qualifying though was appalling.
yeah, that
It
was.
did well in the sprint though.
Mm,
I'd still say poor because right with the amount of money that team's been funded, they should be doing a lot better.
yeah, without a
Vettel,
doubt.
same again
Same
with
again.
his
Yeah,
experience. To be
yeah.
fair, I'm going to say 2 with his experience. He's a lot better driver than that
But
Vettel,
to be honest,
a lot better.
he did get hit in the sprint and in the race, dropping
Yeah,
him
I know,
quite a few
but
positions.
I get that. But some of his like of his caliber should have done well enough in qualifying to even not even be in that position. If you know what I mean. So like yeah. Williams, I'm getting fed up with saying this. Poor. The
Mm,
both of them just poor.
Yeah,
Uh,
let's see if he qualified 19th and went
in
into
retirement.
TNF.
Albon,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put he's better than. I'll only do that because he's better than the TV.
Albon did
Uh,
finish 12th. So
with the
three
12.
maybe.
All right, yeah, 3 then. All
And
right,
he did qualify 11th in qualifying normally. So
yeah, yeah. Do you know what? Okay,
yeah,
instead of that little pugs compared to what that thing's been doing this whole season, I'd say 4 then.
yeah,
But Latifi is just same old, same old.
yeah.
Right. By the way, I just want to point something out. The FIA, the marshals at turn 4, right, should be fucking ashamed themselves. Right? You see Sainz struggling to get out the car because the thing won't he won't stop rolling down the hill, right? And you're standing there doing fuck all. The car's on fire, right? He's trying to get out, right? But he can't get out because the car's rolling down the hill. So instead of you trying to get behind maybe the car or finding some way you could stop the car rolling down the hill, so let's be honest, it ain't that fucking heavy, right? You just stand there, right? And the flames nearly even got to Sainz by the time you lot fucking got your canisters out.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. I mean, Jesus Christ. Right. Sorry, them stewards get a fucking 0 in my mind.
Without a doubt.
Uh, but yeah, AlphaTauri. Sonoda.
Very poor.
Very poor, I'd say. You expect better. Gasly.
Let's guess he qualified in 10th. The sprint went
10th,
to 15th, and in the race
50.
15th again. So
That's very poor for me. That's very,
yeah,
very poor. So, yeah. Let's go to Alpine and Esteban Ocon. I think Ocon had a good race, to be fair.
yeah, good qualifying,
Yeah.
good sprint, good race. I mean,
Alonso,
good. Where did you
good
put
as well.
Ocon?
Yeah, managed to fight his way back up the field from a poor qualifying.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, good for him. McLaren.
Both were
Daniel
terrible in
Ricciardo. Oh, sorry,
qualifying.
Daniel Ricciardo. Sorry,
Uh, for the qualifying alone, they deserve to get lower, in my
non-existent in the
opinion.
race. Where is he?
He
Where
finished
is he?
in ninth. Finished in ninth.
Ninth. But it's
Yeah, and
like
he went,
it's
and in sprint he was 12th. So
okay. I'm being nice.
yeah,
Lando Norris.
finished in 7th. In sprint, what he
He was
was
better than
11th.
Ricciardo.
Yeah, so
I'd say a 6.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move to Red Bull and Sergio Perez, who I think was at fault for that incident. He was at fault for
Overall,
that incident. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
I'd give Perez a 2, to be honest.
Yeah. Max Verstappen.
Did all he could in the qualifying and the sprint.
Let's moan to
Just was.
let's moan to the max.
I mean, in the race he was just slower than Leclerc overall, so a 7.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 7. 7? You
Yeah.
need 7.
He had a good
This is supposed to
qualifying and a
be
good
this is
sprint.
supposed to be this is supposed to be the greatest driver that ever fucking lived. It's supposed to be like the all conquering Max Verstappen, who's light years ahead of fucking Hamilton. Apparently. Yet, it only seems to amaze me that as soon as Leclerc goes past, we start hearing him going, it's the car's fault. It's the car's fault. It's the car's fault. It's very funny when you get overtaken, you start moaning, isn't it? Right? Fuck me. Yeah, for me, he gets a 4, and I'm being generous. I even go 3. Because he's the world champion. He's supposed to be doing better than that. Come on. There's 2 races in a
Yeah, but he
row.
did.
It's 2 races in a row. He's not at the pace, right? And both races, he's sat there moaning about it, right? Instead of just admitting he's just
Five.
not. He's just got a slower car. You know? Yeah,
Maybe a
for me, it's
five.
no 4. 4 is the
Fine.
most you're gonna get, right? Or I've got to call you a max sympathizer.
No, that's not it. I'm just being realistic in a way.
Fuck realistic. Uh, Ferrari. And we'll start with Sainz.
Uh, I think decent qualifying and sprint, and just unlucky in the race.
Just
So
unlucky in the race, mate.
he was slow. He was faster than Verstappen. It would have been a 1-2 if he didn't have that
Bang
engine failure. So
average.
I'd say, yeah, sure,
Yeah. Leclerc.
9.
Yeah, it was a great race for him, to be fair. Brilliant race.
Overtook Verstappen 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Just made him look like an amateur.
Hmm.
Mercedes. Fucking
Uh,
Mercedes. What you going for?
Russell, fourth 3 times. Of course, he did have that crash in
Yeah,
qualifying. So
I think he did well, mate. Despite the fact he had to fight his way back through the grid, like in
yeah,
the
7 is
race.
fine.
So 7 is fine. Hamilton gets an 8 for me.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree with that.
should have done better in qualifying for that mistake. Made up for it a little bit in the sprint, and then really came into his own in the race. Some brilliant overtakes. Good, decent pace throughout. So there you go.
Yeah.
Those are the drivers done. So we now move to the teams. Haas as a team, I say would get a 8 overall.
8,
8. They did very
maybe a
well this
9,
weekend.
because you have Magnussen in 8
Yeah,
and
okay.
Schumacher
All
in
right.
10. So
Yeah, okay. Okay. Alfa Romeo,
um, uh,
3.
yeah, if we just yeah,
Williams, let's just put that in 2 and leave it there, shall we?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
just being
just
generous. Um, let's have a look at this Aston Martin.
AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, also a 2.
32. 2. Alpine,
6, 7 maybe.
7, since both drivers have got 7. Alpha Tauri,
Yeah, 2.
2. McLaren,
You know what? I'd say
5
maybe a
or
little poor.
6. A little poor. Okay.
They just didn't have. I think it's more of the drivers that they got like double points, or not double points.
This
But
is
yeah,
what I
double
love
points.
about. Look, this is what I loved about Hamilton. Look at that. Look, open the door for turn 7, right round the out of Lewis, of
Yeah,
Schumacher. Dives down the inside into turn 3 for Ocon. Right? He didn't. He saw most drivers going barreling down the outside of turn 1. He didn't. He just basically waited to go around turn 1, played the waiting game, right? Held his position in 8th, and then pressed forward from there.
yeah.
So there you go. So um, Ferrari 7, 8.
Yeah, let's do a 7 just because of the engine reliability.
No,
Is
I
just.
would say an 8 because they at least won the Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, fine.
Red Bull 3,
Yeah,
and the constructors champions Mercedes.
4 and 5. 3 and 4 for Mercedes. really good at this point in the season. So I'd say an 8.
Yeah, I think they're starting to get there. Just about. They're starting to get there. But
Yeah.
those are the ratings, my guys. Make sure to leave in the comments below if you agree or disagree. Let us know who you think your driver of the weekend is. And yeah, any any comment will be greatly appreciated. But yeah, yeah. Final words, Tycho. We move on to the French Grand Prix, usually for Mercedes stronghold. What do you expect to happen in the French Grand Prix next weekend? Not this weekend, the weekend after.
I think it would be a very close race, to be honest. Like, normally the French Grand Prix isn't that entertaining. Last season it was alright. But now that you really have 3 teams on top of their cars, I'd say, I think it could be a really good race, to be honest.
Hopefully, if Mercedes bring another package, then it will be definitely 3 teams. I feel
Yeah.
so. Yeah, we'll wait to see what happens then. But like, we'll wait to see if they do bring one or not. But yeah, like I said, we're halfway through the season, and luckily, Mercedes look like they've caught up. But I think it may come a little bit too late for my liking. But there you go. Don't we all love to get to the title for a fight as early as possible? There you go. We're going to leave it there, guys. Make sure you hit the like button, you hit the share button, you hit the subscribe button. I'm going to head off now. I'm going to chill in the
Yep.
sun. Look, we did it even before the scheduled time. It was actually 4:30, so there you go. Tycho, thanks for coming on as usual.
Yes.
And hopefully see you back for the French Grand Prix.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, I hope to see all of you in the chat back for that Grand Prix. Should keep to the schedule for this weekend as well. This week as well. Hopefully, should keep to stick to that, and I'll let you know if I can or not through the community chat on the SFeatleyTV channel. But until then, everyone, do stay safe, do stay well, and we will see you soon.